Hey guys, it's been a while since I last talked about my running journey, but this time we're going to talk about the results of the Lazada Run 2025. So let's go over to the screen, shall we? Alright, check this out. Okay, so this is me, number 237, Brian Lee, and my timing is 1 hour 2 minutes gun time. What I'm surprised is that my actual timing, my net time, the time I took to run from start to finish, is 1 hour 1 minute and 9 seconds. Right, so I'm placed number 171 in the competitive run and number 171 in in the male category. Hmm. Okay, which is interesting. All right, so this is not important unless you consider the other statistics. So, how many positions were there, right? So, looking at the last positions, right? The last position is 909, right? Timing of 2 hours plus gun time and net time, right? For males, right? The last male is position 501, and yeah, so that's about it, right? So considering all of this, right, how good did I actually do, right? We can do the calculations as usual, right? So I punch in my position 237 divided by the maximum position. So let's look at our overall position. 909 participants were running, so divided by 909, right? And if I convert it to percentage, this is what I got. So I'm in the 26th percentile, which is unfortunate. It means that I've deproved. I'm no longer, in the 15th percentile, right? I'm sure you know the reason why, right? I just barely, I didn't even fully recover from my Achilles tendons, kind of like a hurting. Right, next. So what about the male category? I'm gonna do worse, of course, right? I'm placed 171 divided by total number of men would be 501, right? 501. And that gives me this. All right, so I'm in the 34th percentile, right? Not even in the top one third of the race. So yeah, this is rather unfortunate, but I'll take what I can get. I didn't do worse than the previous times, right? This is, at least according to the timing, my second best run this entire year. And if I were to consider all other years in my entire life, of course, there's still the issue of whether, okay, hold on. There's still the issue of whether the timing was accurate. There's still the issue of the distance, right? I did mention that I think the distance measured for the race is not entirely accurate, right? When I reviewed the footage, it was about 9.2 kilometers, but I get the feeling that I think my watch could be at fault as well, because recently the watch face just kind of like fell out, and that could be a sign of something more, right? I think there's something wrong with my watch's GPS. It couldn't track me entirely, right? Even on familiar terrain, even just right outside my house, it couldn't track me all the way. So I think it was losing distance that way, right? So that, yeah, that's really unfortunate. I gotta say. So there's a very good chance that these results, right, are actually accurate in terms of distance. In that I actually ran 10 kilometers. It just feels so unlikely. It didn't feel that way. But feelings are not accurate, I guess. So there's a bit of good news. I guess one way that I can kind of like lay this doubt to rest would be to get a new watch, I guess. So that's another reason to splurge, I guess. I don't really want to be honest, but I think I have no choice. I think my watch is falling apart. Right, the watch face it came off. Right, I had to use super glue to stick it back, but that means it's no longer waterproof, which is a huge issue. I wouldn't want it to short out while I'm running a race if it happens to rain even slightly, right? So yeah. Oh well. I mean the 26th percentile for this race, not the worst, not the best either. It's very interesting how just 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes in fact, can make so much of a difference, right? Take a look at what would have happened had I gone under 1 hour, right? Where would I have been placed? Let's say if I was somewhere around here. Let's say I took over Aaron Francis Lee's position 201. What percentile would I have gotten? Right, 22 or 201 divided by 909. Okay, that's interesting. Right, so actually it seems that the standards for this race is tougher. I guess the bar is higher. Even if I'm placed 201 with a timing of less than 1 hour at 59 minutes and 44 seconds, I would have been only in the 22nd or 23rd percentile, right? If I'm placed 149 amongst the males, right, against 501, what would that get me? 501. Okay, yeah, that's not much of a difference, right? So that's like the 30th percentile, 29th to 30th percentile. So yeah, I guess that's another thing to be hopeful about in that this race was tougher, right? So my opponents were tougher, so I didn't do as well. I wasn't in the best condition to challenge them either. Oh well, we'll see what happens next time. I'll try to train, but my Achilles tendons, they are not healing completely. I still feel some pain while I'm running. So it's gonna be tough. I might not ever go under 1 hour again for 10 kilometers this year. My next race is the last one for 10 kilometers. So that really changes my game plan a little, right? Um, I might have to rest more, which means I might have to miss more trainings. I might have to take it easy. How I took it early. I mean, I took it easy earlier today. Then I ran only like 7.1 kilometers instead of 7.5 kilometers. And I couldn't run as fast as I used to, right? That's an issue. Although I need to change my watch to be sure. The GPS is really off. Yeah, so we'll see. And then when I train for my half marathons, I probably have to taper off sooner and rest more if it helps, right? It takes a very long time for Achilles tendon to heal completely, so I don't know. Yeah, I might have to run my half marathons with less training than I thought I would have had, or would have had, right? Whatever. Okay, so that's all for today, I guess. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.